Listen, hello. So, are you scared yet, Christian, or what do you think about what you've seen here today?
Well, I mean, I will say, I hear a lot of very happy talk about AI and robotics and things like that. And I don't mean to be a skeptic, but we are going to be in a lot of trouble when robots figure out how to check off that I am not a robot box. Feels like a very thin line of defense to me.
Yeah, when they can read a CAPTCHA. Yeah, we're in trouble. Well, look, thank you so much. As I said a couple of times today, 2020 has been a rough one. We need to laugh. We're so glad that you're going to bring us some perspectives that are a little bit different than we've heard all day, and just give us a reward for hanging out together and going on this journey. So let me introduce you properly, and then we'd love to hear what you have to share with us. It is great to see you. More than 20 years ago, Christian and I shared some stages in New York, and I have really been very pleased to see him become quite successful. He was in the Chappelle Show, which is, of course, kind of legendary now. He played Martin on the popular syndicated sitcom Are We There Yet? And he's been on Countdown with Keith Olbermann quite a bit, talking about all kinds of different things around politics and television, and has really made a name for himself. He has a number of specials, and his most recent one is called 60% Joking, which you can easily find if you search on it. And he's been on Conan, The Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, but also The Late Late Show with James Corden, and the Today Show, and I could go on. And now he's on the AIM show. So thank you so much, Christian. It's all yours.
Pleasure's mine. Oh, well, thank you, David. It's a pleasure to be here with you all here at the end of all things. I know Zoom and a comedy in a Zoom setting is maybe a little daunting for some people. How would you do stand-up comedy without an audience? Well, rest assured, I've been doing stand-up comedy for over 20 years, and I am very used to telling jokes and hearing no laughter. So, advantage moi. Fun year, 2020, wouldn't you say? I will admit that I maybe didn't take COVID as seriously as I should have at first. I guess it's just because I've lived in New York City for 30 years now, so I just sort of assumed I was already immune to everything. Just all those years licking subway poles for nothing. I started taking it seriously around early March when I started receiving emails from every company I have ever purchased anything from to inform me of their coronavirus preparedness plans. Some of them most of it was just sort of basic boilerplate, like from now on, we're going to clean our stores. Okay. Kind of thought that was always on the agenda. Thanks. I know I started taking it seriously when I got one of those emails from Petco. The pet emporium, Petco, because it was very dry. And I took that as a red flag, because you get an email from a pet store, you expect it to be in that sort of fun pet store vernacular. Like, I wanted it to be like, this coronavirus is rough. Or, due to the ongoing catastrophe, we'll be putting our stores on pause. But no, it's very, very dry. Been having to make some adjustments over the course of 2020. Carrying around an extra 30 pounds of grade A quarantine fat. Anybody else? Feeling good? Hubba hubba, ladies. I genuinely don't know how it happened, because I have spent the last 6 months on one of those nutritional programs. I don't know if anyone else has tried the existential panic diet. Oh, it is the best. You have to try it. It's so easy. What you do is you only eat. That's it. You only eat. You eat and you eat and you eat, because that is the one thing you can control right now. I've had to make some personal adjustments. My current wardrobe is primarily Costco based. Some of you may be unaware that you can purchase clothing at Costco. Oh, you can. They carry all your favorite fashion labels. Calvin Klein, Hugo Boss, Nabisco, all the best, and it's all piled in giant disheveled heaps on folding tables, scavengers picking through it like seagulls feasting on the carcass of a bloated whale. It is, how you say, Play chic. Now, I should be clear, I don't have to be buying my clothes at Costco, okay? 2020 has not been a financial windfall, but I'm doing fine. But these are fat clothes we're talking about, okay? I have lost and gained and lost weight my entire adult life. And if there's one thing I have learned is you do not spend good money on fat clothing, especially not in 2020 when 90% of the people I interact with are seeing me in a Zoom thumbnail. So, and luckily, thanks to social distancing, none of you will ever get close enough to notice that this shirt is 90% asbestos. Chafes a bit, not gonna lie. As I was mentioning to David, I am a little terrified of technology and where it's taking us because I'm just flat out addicted myself. I knew I had crossed the Rubicon. I remember last year I went to grab lunch at a Panera Bread because I can afford that. I don't want to brag that I can eat a Panera Bread, but I can. I consider Panera fine dining in the sense that it's fine. It's fine dining. But I went to Panera, and I lived right down the street, and I was in such a hurry, I didn't even take my phone with me. So I'm just going to grab lunch, and then I didn't even take my phone. And then I guess I had just missed like a giant lunch rush, because right after I finished paying for my lunch, I noticed there were 30 people at the end of the counter waiting for their orders. And again, I did not have my phone. Do you understand what this means? That means for almost a half of an hour, I was forced to just stand there looking at people like a psychopath. How did we do it? I have no memory of how to be alone in public without that little black rectangle to stare at. Like, I tried to not look insane. I don't think it worked. Like, imagine you're a Panera and you're eating your lunch and you glance up from your phone and you just see this guy. I could tell I was bumming people out, so eventually I just started staring at my hand, just sort of scrolling my palm, just kind of a when in Rome type scenario. I'm still on 20th century technology. That's where I feel more comfortable. My wife and I have actually a pretty amazing apartment by New York City standards because we have a dishwasher. Yeah. See, a lot of you watching, you're probably not impressed. I'm sure wherever you are right now, appliances rain down from the sky. But in New York City, a dishwasher is an exotic luxury, okay? People don't even believe me. Whenever I go to visit a friend of mine who lives out in the suburbs and I see all the amenities his house has that he just takes for granted, it's as if I'm a medieval time traveler visiting the crazy future world. I'm like, friend, where is the benevolent spirit blowing cool air through vents in the wall? Is that the breath of an angel? And what do you have behind this door? Your own personal clothes laundering apparatus? This washing machine of yours, how many quarters does it require? No quarters? Wait, you have a staircase on the inside of your home? It is the mark of the beast. I'm trying to just get along like everybody is right now. I feel like I have turned a corner. I felt like I had a few months where things are bringing me down, social distancing, the quarantine. But I made a decision a few months ago that has helped me out a lot. I have decided that I am happy. I've decided. Now, I want to be clear about this. I am not happy. Not at all. But I have decided that I am. And it's kind of working a little bit. Just fake it. Just fake it till you make it. I mean, we fake so many things on a day-to-day basis. Why can't I fake that I'm happy? What, you don't think you pretend? Do the words "just saw your text" mean anything to you? Exactly. So why can't I BS about being happy? I already make up things 100 times a day. Whenever anyone talks about Bitcoin, I pretend I know what they're talking about. As far as I can tell, the word Bitcoin is just like a magical spell that you can say that makes women leave the room. Every 4 years, I pretend that I know what a comptroller does. I go in the voting booth every 4 years, and I look at the two names. I'm like, oh, yes, this guy definitely comptrolls better than that guy. I have no idea. When you show me pictures of your newborn children, I pretend that I find them cute. I mean, I'm not saying I find them ugly. I mean, they're babies. Babies are cute, but they're not, like, individually cute. They're all just kind of baby cute. My wife and I don't have any children that we know of. That makes no sense. But so I don't really have that feeling when it comes to babies, but I understand that it is important to you as a new parent, so I do the work. I'm like, oh, look at him with the ears and eyeballs. This kid definitely has a nose. I don't know. Sometimes I can have fun with it. Like, oh, look at her. She is adorable. Is it just me, or does she look a little bit racist? No, you don't see it? No, not at all. Okay, just me. I don't know, man. It's all about staying positive. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the two wolves parable. Do you know what that is? Yeah, it's a Native American folk story. So you know it's going to be wise, right? Because, that's the brand. The idea is that within each and every one of us, there are two wolves. And one wolf represents positivity and love and joy, and the other wolf represents negativity and hatred and fear. And those two wolves are fighting within each and every one of us. Now, which one of those wolves will win the fight? The one that you feed. All right? I told you it was wise. Now, again, I did not make this up. It's like literally a Facebook meme. I think it originated in the Zuckerberg tribe, if I'm not mistaken. But it resonates with me on some level. So I am doing my best to feed the positivity wolf as often as I can. It's a challenge, though, because the problem with feeding the positivity wolf is, as far as dinner companions go, negativity wolf is a lot more fun. First of all, positivity wolf doesn't even want to meet you for dinner. He wants to meet you for breakfast. 7 a.m. egg whites. Want you to go out and seize the day, as if the day has ever done anything to me. The day and I have an agreement. You don't seize me, I won't seize you. Negativity wolf is way more flexible. Negativity wolf will meet up with you on your schedule. He'll eat when you want to eat. Negativity wolf will meet you for one of those late night screw it meals. You know what I mean? Like, when you're driving home at midnight and you've had kind of a crappy evening, and you just see the golden arches in front of you, and you're just like, screw it. Negativity wolf is there in the passenger seat with you, ready to go halvesies on a 20-piece nugget. And the conversation is just better. Positivity wolf wants to talk about how much potential you have, how you can overcome anything, how maybe you don't need another pint glass of Maker's Mark and Diet Mountain Dew. Boring. Negativity wolf, I don't know. He just lays it out plain. He's like, look, here's how I see this going. We'll spend about an hour and a half cataloging your personal failures. Then we'll hate scroll Twitter for a while, take a nap. How's that sound? Oh, negativity wolf. You read my mind. I think it's a product of getting older. For me, I am 47 now, which is a transitional period. Like, I don't consider myself elderly, but I am starting to take notice of pharmaceutical commercials. Like, I'm not buying any of the drugs yet. I'm just sort of familiarizing myself with the names for the future. It's like, okay, Prevagen, you say, P-R-E. It's a lot of dumb names, the pharmaceuticals. Every pharmaceutical name sounds like a word that you would try to get away with in a game of Scrabble. You ever played Scrabble? When you're like 80 points down, so you're just throwing crap against the walls, hoping something will stick. It's like, I don't know, Abilify. No, that's like when a building doesn't have a handicap ramp, so you have to Abilify it. No? You're not going to accept that one? Okay, let's try this one. Lyrica. Those are like the words to a Mexican pop song. Cuando, mi amor, something about a corazon. That is collectively known as Lyrica. These are real words, people. Do not question my trulicity. I think they're running out of letter combinations for the drugs. There's one I see advertised all the time called Xeljanz. 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 First of all, that is one hell of a Scrabble rack right there. You got your X, your J, and your Z. Drop that on a triple word score. Game over, my friends. I do not know what Xeljanz does. I just know I will not ever take it, because I do not want to take a drug that sounds like a character from a 50s science fiction movie. Like, greetings, humans. I am Zeljans, servant to Space Lord Xanax and his bride, Queen Otesla. We have come to your planet to teach your people about moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis. Really rolled that R there. You hear that? Thanks, Tisch School of the Arts. Worth every penny. I guess that means I'll have to embrace wellness instead. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the term wellness. It is a medical term that means nonsense. I'm talking about natural remedies, your melatonin, echinacea, fish oil. I am skeptical of wellness culture, okay? There has to be a reason when I walk into CVS that the wellness products have a section that is separate from where the actual medicine is kept. Like, it's actually kind of perfect that they call it wellness. Because it's like, hey, does this stuff work? Well, it's a wellness sort of a wordplay thing. CBD oil seems to be the one that everyone is gaga about now. A couple of years ago, I had never even heard of CBD oil. I had to ask a friend of mine, and she was like, oh my God, CBD is so amazing. It has all of the positive health benefits of marijuana, but you don't get high. And I was like, wow, that is amazing. Hey, apropos of nothing, I know of something with all the positive health benefits of CBD oil, but you get high. So clearly this is a tomato situation. I mean, I just don't even know what the sales pitch for CBD is. It's like, all right, you're going to feel compelled to eat an entire Costco-sized bag of Doritos, but wait for it, get this, you're stuck with the same terrible thoughts. No, thank you. Listen, I'm not trying to glorify any sort of drug use, okay? That's not what this is about. It's not what I'm about. But it's just like, it's not, I'm not saying it's cool. It's just another thing people use to get through the day in 2020. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I think of it as just another natural substance that people use to ignore the wreckage that is their lives, so that they can focus on house hunters. And I don't think anyone is going to get that from the O'Douls of weed. I've heard people say that you should give CBD oil to pets. I don't know if you've ever heard that. Like, if you have an anxious dog, you should give your dog CBD oil. Okay. I just had no idea that kid in my high school who used to blow pot smoke in his dog's face was like a veterinary trailblazer. I thought he was a jackass. Turns out he was ahead of the curve. So well done, Keith. I'm going to do it, though. I have two dogs, and they're one of my dogs is super emo. He was a rescue. And seriously, something must have happened to him before we got this dog, because he gets very upset when the vacuum cleaner comes out. He'll hide under the bed. So I'm going to start giving him CBD oil, because the heroin I've been shooting him up with is not working at all. I mean, his songwriting has improved, but that's about it. Seems like a weird way to end the show, doesn't it? Seems like a strange way to dismount. And yet that's what's happening right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you've done exceptional work. Enjoy the rest of the conference. I think this is the end of the conference. Am I right about that, David? This is the end, right?
You are indeed. You are the last thing we're going to hear, and we appreciate it very much. I smiled quite a bit. It's very important these days to get the corners of your mouth to go upward. It makes you happier. You've given us a lot of good, interesting points to think about. And it's great to see you again. Thank you for bringing the laughter.